So, Shark Attack.
Shark Attic.
Shark Attack.
The fan favorite.
Yeah, and my personal
Definitely
favorite.
one.
Fucking love this song. So thank you for having it as a fan favorite because it is my favorite as well. So that's perfect. Got good taste. I have to talk about right off the bat, dude. I'm sorry if I. But Jake's riff is so dope. Like it is one of my favorite riffs in all of Baw's categories so far. Or catalog. I can't speak English. Cause like fuck, it made me think of Protest, and fucking know, I fucking love Protest. Like the idea of like a tapping riff, it's so fun, and it's just like such a Protest thing to go about it. At least like Fortress wise, like it's very Fortress to me in a weird way. I don't know, maybe you had a different thought of it, but tell us. Go ahead.
There wasn't really a specific Bawman. I just remember sitting at the foot of my bed in that house, just playing like I normally would, and I love tapping and playing, and I just remember coming up with this like tapping riff, and I'm like, oh my god, this is really hard to play. And so I just kept working on it for a very long period of time, and normally like most things you play a lot, you remember them. And I remember the day that we came up with the band name, we were sitting down with a bunch of notepads on Richo's bed in that same house. And after we like came up with like the idea of Band Against Humanity, Richo was like, so, like any we gotta work on new songs, any riffs you've been working on? I'm like, oh yeah, this thing. And just like I played it for both these guys, and they're like, whoa.
Yeah.
And immediately the two of them just took off. And like without any instruments, they're both just working on this idea together. Richo picks up his electric guitar unplugged, and they both just started playing with it and came up with what we know now as Shark Attack.
Yeah.
Verse and stuff.
I remember, when you showed us that riff, I thought it was like so sick.
Yeah.
You had like, I don't know, I just feel like something unique. Even like the way it circles back, how it doesn't end right, like, well, it's like a 16 before kind of, I don't know,
It's like a cadence idea in a way, like it could be like a never-ending loop.
Yeah, I just thought it was so cool. And the process of like writing the song with it, like, it came very naturally. Like not as quick as some other songs, but it was definitely not that much of a struggle. Maybe a bit more later with vocals and lyrics, which I mean we should mention. You know, this is a song that both melody and lyrics were written by our original singer Matt, and a really good friend of us.
I gotta say too, I remember when this was a half step down.
Yeah.
Listening back to it again, like
originally it was.
Yeah, it didn't stick.
Yeah.
It didn't stick. It was for like other reasons though.
It was technical reasons, like when you're live, you don't want to spend a lot of time tuning your guitar or switching guitars.
There were technical difficulties with it at the end of the day, with the tuning and like some other things. So it ended up being a situation where I was like, we probably should record it to be the same tuning as what we're gonna play live, so it sounds like an authentic thing when you're going into it. So I guess at the end of the day, it worked out that way. But again, in the future, I would love to do a recording of the half step down because of the fact that it's really cool and interesting. And that's how it was originally played. So it's a really interesting thing that I got changed, but obviously for good reason. We should talk about your solo and how that came to be, because that was not originally planned either.
Right. Yeah, it was. I remember audition day. We were doing Shark Attic and like learning the song. I guess I just felt like I didn't want to say someone else's speech. Basically, there was a speech where the solo is now, and I just didn't feel comfortable like saying someone else's sort of call to arms kind of speech. So instead, in the moment, I was just like, well, why don't you just solo? That seemed like the logical thing to do. And little did I know that I was setting in motion epically long solo.
Something.
It was your first solo that we wrote, right, for Bob?
Yeah,
So
for me.
cool.
How do you feel? the solo, Jake?
I'm happy with it. It's very cool. It's very difficult. It's very tough for me. But even the version that's on Brother is not even what it is today. Like, many years went into that solo and still kind of are going into that solo, I hate to say it. But
The
I feel
thing
like
is cool though, you have like this big space for you to do something, and it's so big and like that you can really fuck with it almost every single show and do something cool and different every time.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
It is.
Also, I guess in the EP, it's that you were mentioning with the solo in Elemental, that it has like this perspective of two different guitars.
Yeah.
Right, like there's one side with
That's
a
a
bunch of
very
effects,
good
and then the other side with different sound.
It's like, it's many different takes of that solo. And it's interesting, it's many different years of that solo, honestly, all put together. But sort of with that idea in mind of having different tones, almost as if it's being played by different people in different places. And it's cool, because it's almost like this is following some of the ideas that I had when we first came up with this song. This is some of the ideas that Wicho and I had when we were demoing the song. Here's some of the ideas that I had when we started playing the song live, and sort of what I figured out then. And I feel like it sort of culminated after the recording of the EP, but that there is a great example of most of the greater ideas of this 2-minute gap
Masterpiece.
to fill.
Yeah.
But
Well,
to take the place of a speech.
it's so sick though. Just
Yeah.
having this song
I think
have this energy,
Yeah.
and then it just calms down, and it's like this chill part that so
Yeah.
gradually starts to build up, gets more and more
Yeah.
intense, and goes to the drum solo. I mean,
Yeah.
that flow of that whole back half of the song is
Yeah.
like so nice.
It's also, that is actually a point too, I forgot. It's also the only drum solo on the EP that I wrote. That was also like, I don't know.
None of you want to consider the little things you do in Elemental solos or fills. But
Yeah.
I kind of consider them more as
Intro,
fills
okay.
in my mind. Like even the outro part, I would also consider like kind of just like a really long fill. It's kind of just like it's like almost in the sense of like a breakdown, but like literally like we're breaking it down kind of thing, rather than it being like a solo thing. Because like we're all kind of just going off, right?
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me actually of, is it "And All Things Will End" off of "Waking the Fallen"? I think the last song on the album. When they do that like really cool thing, I love that shit. So like that was what made me think of it. But yeah, so I don't know. That solo, I didn't really have a lot to think about with it. It was pretty. It's a lot. I pretty much put that drum solo as like, this is what I really like to do right now. These are all the really cool things that you'll hear throughout the entire EP, all coming into one thing. That's kind of what I had going into it. And a lot of that stuff I still incorporate because it's just fun to do those things. Like at the end of the day, I feel like for me personally, when I'm playing on the kit and I'm doing the fills, like I want to have fun doing the fills.
But the drums on Shark Attack are like my favorite drums on the whole EP, I think.
I think you're not alone in that opinion either. Like I think a lot of people that have approached us, they've definitely mentioned like there's two big things with Shark Attack that people love, but one of them is the drums. The other one is the gang vocals, which obviously we worked our ass off on the vocal stuff. That was a lot of like the production stuff actually, and that was super fun. And like once we all had it all together, and then we were thinking about doing it live too, it was just like that was some fucking crazy incorporation that we had to work through there, and it was super fucking cool at the end of the day. Very exciting.
Yeah. I love the screams in the outro.
Oh
Not
yeah.
the outro, it's the last chorus
Yes.
with the double kicks.
Oh yeah. All the screams in general in this whole song. My fucking bullshit scream at the start of the fucking song.
I was gonna say, like, It's funny, like those are the two things that you would say are the things that stick out for Shark Attack. But to me, I always hear, "Yo, who does that scream at the beginning? Where is that coming from? Where's like people are like looking around like I don't like Mike's not doing it, the guitarist aren't doing it. Who's fucking doing that scream?" And then they look back and you're just
Yeah.
it's like, oh shit, he's gonna pass out back there.
Actually, and I almost have every fucking show we've done it. I'm starting to learn how to. It's funny because like there's. I don't even want to say this because it's probably not even true, but like I have not found like a absolutely definitive tutorial on how to like really control your screams like from video.
Yeah.
And I would love to learn more, but
I think it's years and years of
It
practice
really
and
is.
really like kind of how
it really
your body
is.
adjusts to what you were doing.
It really is. Like, I like recently I discovered something that I'm like, okay, I don't really have to use all my breath this fast. I can control it a little bit better, but it'll still sound the same. It might not be as projected as hard, but like when it's through the mic, who cares? So it's like, I don't know. I hopefully like I will improve on it. Everyone else can improve on it over time. Like all of us are learning at the end of the day when it comes to screams, because screams are hard.
Yeah.
They are very difficult.
I mean, I personally like I love screaming. I love screaming even before I was in a band just playing Tritium covers. But I can definitely feel myself getting better.
Right.
Yeah, you're definitely getting a lot better.
And they hurt more. I mean, less, sorry. Again, screaming more than the know-how of I'm supposed to do this and do this with my diaphragm. It's a lot of, like any other muscle, you have to kind of fuck it up a bit so it gets stronger and stronger.
Yeah. I want to talk about the chorus writing too. Chorus also changed a little bit over time. So me and Micho kind of like had different ideas of how to go about the chorus, and it actually ended up being that we ended up doing a hybrid of it. We did both, because I wanted to do the first half of the chorus where I'm doing a drum beat of like the get right. I wanted to do that for the whole chorus.
Oh yeah.
I wanted the whole chorus to be that vibe. Micho really wanted the more like drum and bass type thing, which is great. Like it actually worked out really cool because you end up having this really short chorus, but it sounds like more because of the fact that it changes halfway through. It's really, really fun, really exciting.
Yeah, we were pretty quick.
It kind of came out to be sort of a progressive idea, I guess, in a way, and it's cool. I've heard other bands do it. Like a perfect example that I love is Harbinger by Protest the Hero. That's another one that has like that same kind of idea. So like it's not like that's something that we haven't heard before. It's like it's just something that worked out really well, but like because it just happened to work together really well. And I think Matt's vocals got changed a little bit when like Mike came in. He decided I feel like you made it more colorful.
The demo is quite different, but
Yeah.
in Matt's defense, it felt like it was one of the newer songs. I mean, it was one of the newer songs before he was done with Boss. So.
Yeah, for sure. So I think like it was one of those things that we were just touching it up. We were adding a little more to it.
Yeah. Just smoothing out the edges.
Yeah, and it sounded great. Like I think that chorus is one of our stronger choruses, which is ironic considering it's so short. And I think the gang vocals helps on top of that as well. And yeah, it's just like in general that the chorus writing is really exciting. Speaking of the Matt vocals and stuff, he solo wrote the melody and the lyrics, right?
That's right.
That's fucking crazy. I actually didn't know that. I thought you wrote the lyrics for this one.
No.
That's crazy.
No, that's not.
Interesting. Because he, like, it's such a, like, it is, I guess it is kind of a vibe from Matt, too. Thinking back on it, actually, like, very, like, powerful. Very, like, empowering.
Yeah, definitely. That's the feeling of the whole song, and that's almost like the meaning of the song, just fucking do it!
Yeah.
Power to the people.
Do it, just like a shark.
I like the lyrics of that song. Like, I think honestly, like a lot of the lyrics I write tend to be more like darker in meaning, and like what I write about is always, sad or angry or negative emotions, you could say. Not that emotions are like that, but it's cool to have songs that are kind of the other side. They're telling you know, like you're strong. You know, you can overcome and do things you want.
Yeah.
Empowering, as you said.
Exactly. The last thing, did you want to talk about the mixing? Because I know you were telling me earlier, it's one of them, you said this and the next song, which is Black Sheep, were the two most difficult songs to mix and potentially master. Bless you.
I find that with songs that have a lot of like a dynamic range, like those two, you know, going from, I guess what I'm trying to say is it's easier, a bit easier to mix and have something that is cohesive all the way through it. It's kind of the same flow, at the same kind of intensity. Oh my God!
Jesus!
Okay.
Bless your soul!
I'm talking here!
We already said bless you once. You don't get a second, okay?
Just pretend like I'm not even here.
It's honestly
I didn't hear anything. Like COVID isn't even happening. We're fine.
think you know someone, Jakey.
Oh my
And
God.
then they're transmitting a viral infection.
So yeah, mixing that song was a bit of a challenge. Just going from, you know, you have everything set up for one section and then it changes and it's all a bit quieter, and then the stuff you were doing with one instrument now is, you know, either too loud or now it's too quiet, so you have to adjust. It just feels like it's not as easy as some of the other songs.
Fair enough.
But at the same time, it's like my first time engineering, producing, mixing a full EP, so
True.
if I tried it again now, maybe it would be a little smoother.
Right.